seem to have Jimmy Garoppolo's number, 3 interceptions now on him in 5 games. What's behind that?
I don't know, I just be in the right spot, right time, and, if he throw it, I'm going to catch it. So that's the motto I've been kind of living by, just going to get the ball, and, that ball will change your life. So, we'll see where it goes.
Could you take us through that interception, please?
I mean, it was tip and overthrow. I think Bobby had a great hook drop, and, the receivers kind of got a little too close, and I was just in the post, That's one of those ones where you just got to catch it, And when they caught it, and we knew all week that they run a lot of inside breaking routes, and, I kind of said all week, I'm like, if he throw one of those hanging across the middle, I'm going to get it, and I'm gonna try to score. But that lineman kind of fast, so I had to get out of bounds.
What did you feel like changed at halftime for you guys?
I mean, we knew we wasn't playing our standard, no matter what the offense is doing, no matter what special teams is doing, we got a standard that we have to play to, and we wasn't doing that, They had 23 points in the first half. That's been uncharacteristic of us, for the last 6, 7 weeks. So we had to come in and we had to put our foot down. And Ballore went out and made a great special teams play, got us the ball back, and even though we didn't score on that, and we knew we had them backed up, and we had to keep them backed up. So it was just one of those opportunities for us to go out and put a stamp on the game, and I think we did that in the second half by allowing no points in the second half.
Can you describe the goal line stand at the end, what the attitude was going into it?
I mean, it's amazing, ain't it? Like, I feel like every time we get down, the game comes down to that same end zone every time we play here. So it was just one of those things where we had to bow up. We knew we had to bow up and get a stop. And I think, for us, it's one of those things where, like, we never give up. We always fight. I think this is a very resilient group. And, no matter how people bash us and say, we done and all this, we always believe. And I think that comes from great leadership.
What role have the leaders in the locker room played in the last few weeks in keeping this together, even though the wins haven't been there?
I mean, it's been great to be around a group of guys that are always positive and have a positive mindset, no matter, what the outcome is, win, lose, or draw. And I think even for myself, I kind of pulled back on some of the days where I was in Detroit and, we wasn't winning a lot of games, but we had to keep fighting because, at the end of the day, the other team never cares, if you lost last week or not, they want to come in, they want to beat you up too. So I think that's just kind of been the message, just keep pushing forward, keep doing us, and just let everything play out. We've lost some games that we've accustomed to winning in the last couple minutes or so. So we knew, it was about time we got one, and we were able to get it today.
Did anything change for you when Jamal had to go out of the game at all? Or?
I think, well, of course, when he leaves, I have to bring a little bit more energy. He's definitely the energizer bunny. He's the tone setter. And I think when I realized he was down, it was just like, okay, I got to help pick the guys up too. Because me, I'm so far back, so far back in the post, sometimes it's hard for me to get into a groove and kind of make big plays. So I knew it was an opportunity for me to step up and just kind of, fill some of that void that's left by my brother.
What's that sound like and look like when you're stepping up your energy?
I'm just talking a little bit more. I think you guys probably think I talk a lot, but on the field, I'm very chill. I just be, chilling until somebody really mess with me or bother me. But I just think it's just, running the alley, getting the ball, any way I can get it. But definitely running the alley and trying to set a tone and let guys know, like, this is what it's going to be. So I get into it with linemen and all, I don't really care. So it's just kind of how I am.
What was most critical in shutting down the San Francisco running game?
I mean, you guys have seen how these guys been running the ball last 3 or 4 weeks. They've been trying to set a tone, and, they want to be the tone setter. So for us, we knew it was going to be a physical game, so we knew what we had to do. We knew we had to stop the run. I think the front seven, they did a tremendous job of stopping it, and they were up for the challenge today. And they handled it, and, it definitely helped us get this dub today.
To the team as a whole, signing ADRIAN Peterson this week, Pete talked about maybe that kind of sending a little bit of a message to you guys or whatever, just sort of his presence and everything?
No question. Anytime you can get a Hall of Fame in the building, a guy that's very accomplished, that's won a lot of football games, has done a lot of big-time things in the league. I've been watching AP forever, even though he's a Sooner. I've been watching him forever. I've heard all. I remember when he was in high school hearing the tales of, like, they got this guy out of East Texas, like, he's the truth. And then you see him get to Oklahoma, and he plays in those big games, and he's doing that. And just to have his presence in the building, you know what I mean? He's one of the guys that just kind of, you know what I mean, he brings a positive mindset. You know what he's going to do, and you could tell the way he practices that he's all about business, and it's dope to have him around.
If Ryan Neal has to step in for Jamal, what have you seen from him?
I mean, you guys seen it last year. You know what I mean? He's a spark plug, too. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that we trust very much. He's a guy that always asks questions, that's always in the right spot. And we just got to get him to slow down a little bit mentally when he just, you know, he gets going, you know. So we got to slow him down because he's so hyped to be out there. But other than that, he's a great player. I love playing, being on the same team as Ryan because I know what I'm going to get out of him every day.
I think that's 4 interceptions for you. With your contract situation being what it is, what kind of statement do you think you're making this season?
Hey, man, whatever it is, I just let my play do the talking. Right? I ain't going to keep going through with the contract stuff. Everybody knows what it is. Everybody know how I feel about this place. So when that time come, it come. Until then, I'm going to just keep doing my thing and just keep proving the point that, you know, I still remember I didn't get 1 All-Pro vote last year. So I'm going to continue to try to make that statement.
Jamal was back on the sidelines for the second half. I guess what was his demeanor? I mean, was he frustrated?
I mean, you guys know him. You know, I mean, of course he was hurt about the injury, but at the end of the day, you know, I mean, when I came out the field, he was the first person to congratulate me when I came out the field. That's just, I mean, that's the type of relationship me and him has, and you know, we just happy for each other. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm hoping he can get back out there. You know what I mean? The camaraderie we have, the tone setters that we try to be, it's a big part of it. So, you know, I hope the best.
What's it do for the defense when Michael Dixon's putting punts inside the 10-yard line?
He's the best. He's the best in the league. I mean, this is a guy that won the MVP of a bowl game at Texas. You know what I mean? So we know what he brings each and every day. I mean, he knows what he brings. He's a very confident guy. So he knows what he's doing, and he does a lot of great work. And, I mean, like I think I told you guys before, I remember when I would go back and train when he was in college, he was just outside punting the ball at our bubble at UT all the time. So he's a guy that works his tail off, and, you know, everything that he's getting, he deserves.